What's up, family? My name is Jimmie Scott Jr. and in this video I want to ask you a question. How many times have you said no to God? How many times has God spoke to you and tugged at your heart and you've said no? Or how many times have you known that there's something deep inside of you, there's a purpose that is pulling at you that you want to pursue, but that you said no? How many times have there been in your life where you've realized that you have a gift to do something and yet you said no to your gift, but you said yes to your own desires and your own passions? How many times have you said no to God? I want to challenge you with that question today because it is a question that we don't want to face when we say no to God. God is very clear with us in his purpose for our lives. He is very clear with us with his will that he wants to use us for. But we are not very clear with ourselves, and we are not very honest with ourselves because we always say no to God. I'm guilty of it too. I've said no to God many times as far as my voice and as far as God using my voice to impact people. I didn't want to speak. I didn't always want to help people. I didn't want to do YouTube at one point. I didn't want to do podcasts. I didn't want to interview people. I didn't want to talk to people in general. Over time, I began to realize the glory that God gets out of my life when I allow him to use me in such of a manner. And I stopped saying no to Christ. So I challenge you, how many times have you said no? And are you tired of saying no? We all know what calling is on our life. We may not be able to explain it, but we know that in our calling, our life is meant for more. We know that our being is striving for greater. We know that what we are currently doing is not enough, that God is calling us higher. He is calling us to do more, to share more with the world, to share more with our brothers and sisters in love and compassion. We also know that with our life and with God being at the center of our life, that we have been called to do certain things. And so with that calling, we know that we have a responsibility, and some of us run away from that responsibility and we say no. And you know what happens when you say no to God? When we choose ourselves over God, it hurts. Not only does it hurt you yourself, but it hurts those around you, because you never know what it is that people need from you. People are inspired by you in your life. People are inspired by the words and the testimonies that you have. And when you choose not to share those, when you choose to live in a manner in which goes for yourself, in selfishness of your own ambitions, not only do you hurt yourself, but you hurt those around you. And it's very, very painful for the next generation, because they're learning and they're witnessing your no, and it lets them know that, okay, maybe this is okay for me not to strive, not to allow God to use me, not to do all of the things in my life to the fullest extent or potential that God has blessed me with. This is very important for you to understand, because your no, when it impacts you in your life, it is very difficult to understand life, because you continue to say no to God. You don't have to go through some things that you go through. You don't have to experience some of the things that you have experienced, but you do, and you have, because you won't allow God in. You won't allow God in your life. You won't allow God to be the author of your life, to be the head of your life. You won't allow God to take control, to lead your life and be the leader of your life. So how many times have you said no? We all know that God speaks to us in our hearts spiritually. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that he pulls and tugs at our heart. And each time that he speaks to us, we think that we have so much more time available. And God is trying to tell us that we don't have the time that we think that we have here to get right and repent, to walk in the way of the Lord in righteousness, to use our gifts that God has blessed us with, to love our neighbor just as much as we love ourselves. We don't have as much time as we think we do, because we could be here today and be gone tomorrow. It's heartening to know for all of us, because we're all sinners, that we choose ourselves over God. And what makes that heartening to know, because we've all done it, and maybe this is you, is how far along that we could be in our life, and how many people we could have helped and impact had we have said yes to God from the very beginning. Because you can't get time back, and that's very heartening to know. So I want to leave you with this challenge to think about that. How many times have you said no to God, and what are you doing to change that? Hey, thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I really hope that this video helped you in some form or fashion. Please feel free to leave me a comment down in the comment box and let me know your thoughts on the video. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos just like these. I pray nothing but blessings and peace over your life as you continue to walk with me on this Christian journey. I'll talk to you next time.